Did you know one of the only reasons we had Titanic survivors was because of these two wireless communicators who worked for the Titanic? This is Jack Phillips and this is Harold Bride. Jack Phillips was the senior operator and Harold Bride was the junior operator. Jack and Harold would frequently work in what's called the Marconi room. Jack and Harold would tap these two buttons right here and it would send out messages to ships that were traveling within distance. During Titanic's voyage, the transmitter board would actually have a disruption due to all the messages that were coming in. It just stopped working. So then Jack and Harold were like, well, what do we do? And protocol at the time, the rules were that you were supposed to leave it alone, not to touch it, and just wait until the Titanic ported. And they could have like a specialist come look and fix it for them. But Jack and Harold were like, nah, we're real. We can fix this ourselves. So they went against the rules, they went against protocol, and they spent all night trying to fix this transmitter board. And through a process of elimination, they found out that it was a broken secretary. I have no idea what part the secretary was, but they troubleshot it until it started working again. That's when days later, this sinking would happen. And these two stayed in the Marconi room, relentlessly trying to get messages out like, yo, SOS, please. Please help us, dude. Eventually, the messages would be received by the Carpathia, who would make the 58-mile trek towards the Titanic. The Carpathia would rescue all the survivors in the lifeboats. But the thing is, if Jack and Harold never fixed the transmitter board and went against protocol, they wouldn't have been able to fix this within a time frame, especially a stressful time frame like that. If they wouldn't have gotten the messages out, people would have just thought the Titanic was still on its trip. No one would have guessed that there would have been survivors in lifeboats just waiting. But since these two pulled an all-nighter and were like, yo, you want to fix the transmitter board? That's why we had Titanic survivors. Harold Bride would go on to survive the Titanic sinking, but unfortunately, Jack Phillips perished.